Hi YouTube, this is Darkon633, and today I'm bringing a review of the Transformers Generations Deluxe Chromia. Now, Chromia is second of the final two Generations Transformers released in 2014, and while it is the weaker of the two between Chromia and Arcee, I still think Chromia's got a lot going on for her as well. Now, the only bizarre thing I gotta admit is that normally when it comes to a toy released in a line supposed to represent a character, when it comes to a Generations figure, there tend to be known that it's not supposedly just a repaint or a retool of an existing character to exist as a Generations figure. So that's why, for example, Hunt for the Decepticons Sea Spray, well, that doesn't really count because that's just a movie design, but some other designs I can't think of on top of my head, where they kind of just reused an original toy and made it something else. To me, that doesn't count as a Generations figure. Like, oh yeah, now I remember. Like, the original Roadbuster, which was just a retool of, well, not even a retool, it's just a repaint of Cybertron Defense Hotshot from Cybertron and so on. I don't really consider them the Generations style design character because it's existing a reused mold from a previous toy line. Now, the reason why Chromia is a little different is that she does count towards the Generations line. And while she is, once again, actually a retool of an existing figure, she is a heavily used retool. So because of that, even though she is basically Robots in Disguise Transformers Prime RID, she transforms it in an entirely different type of vehicle mode because they heavily modified the design altogether. So that's when it ends up becoming something else completely, which is a pretty neat concept that Takara has done for the character. Now, we'll take a quick look at the box. Once again, it's in the usual style of the Generations figures we've seen in 2014. Look at the back, it becomes the motorcycle mode. And as mentioned earlier, they actually put a sticker here that states, additional weapon not included. And that's because, as I mentioned in the Arcee video, this is the same gun that's supposed to go with Chromia, but for some reason didn't come with her. I just went with Arcee. So even when you look at the box and the bubble, there's only space for one weapon, which is the one that she's holding in her hand. So it's a very confusing idea that Hasbro's done, but I don't know what led up to that. Anyways, another thing that's kind of weird with the Chromia I got, she comes with another part of Dark Cybertron, but for some reason, one of the panels, well, not panels, but one of the pages repeats on mine. So if we're correct, it's actually this page. When you look here, you see this page. But when you look on the back, for some reason, they reprinted the same page twice. So I don't know what happened with my particular print of the comic, but that's pretty crazy that I actually got a misprint, one of the comics that comes with Chromia in the Generations toy. Now, for those who already have the Robots in Disguise Prime RID, it's got a very similar type of transformation, but due to some of the parts that were retooled, it's going to have some quite differences in the transformation as well. What you're going to do is... Oh, actually, before that, we're going to look at the articulation points. Now, articulation is not too much different from the other figure. Her arms can go turn 360. Her wrists are on a ball joint. Well, not wrists, but her arm is on a ball joint, and her wrist is on a ball joint, so she can swivel all around. Her head is on a ball joint, so it allows full movement around. She has no waist articulation, but her hip can only go about that far due to the back piece on there, so some of the retool did kind of hinder articulation points, but she does have more than 90 degrees knee articulation, which can pretty much go in all the way due to transformation. And articulation-wise, that's pretty much what you're going to get for her, so there isn't too much to expect from her articulation-wise, but she is still a pretty cool design otherwise. Now, going back to transformation, what you're going to do is pull out the wheels. Make sure that this piece goes out all the way like this, which will make the head collapse and so on. turn the front wheel. Now sometimes I get confused. I think it's supposed to go like this or this, but for now I'm just going to leave it like that. Pull this entire component back. Push up this piece. And what you're going to do is bend the elbows down so that it collapses inside the piece there. So now you have to do it in a certain way so that it can allow it to fold in. Oh, never mind. You're supposed to push it back. No, that's why. Yeah, so you push it back, and then you can push this piece down over the arms. Now it looks like that. Now what you're going to do is push this piece like this. Push it down all the way so it snaps into place. Then you push up the wheel so it looks like that. Now for our back legs, what you're going to do is align these properly. So it looks like this. Push these legs in like so. Then these little pieces are going to peg into holes that are inside the little component there. Once you get that done, close it off and push it up. Sometimes it has aligning issues, so it doesn't peg in properly, and luckily it actually did it properly there. There you have Chromia in her vehicle mode. And I'll be back to show you a good look at the vehicle mode. Now, Chromia is, as you can see, mostly the Prime RC design, but most of it has been retooled, as mentioned, so it does look quite different than what you've seen with Prime RC. It still maintains the kickstand, so she can be displayed like this if you so wish to, so that's pretty cool. And this piece is also pretty interesting since it's got this clear window design. Makes it look like someone can kind of sit in there, but I don't think there is much space for anything to really put in there, and since this thing gets tightly compacted, it's not very easily able to be opened. Now, I heard from others, and I can see also as well, it looks pretty close to the Afterburner design from the Computron bots, so it is a pretty sweet looking design overall though, and I really enjoy this toy overall, even if it's just a heavy retool of Prime RC. And for some reason it fell apart on me, so okay, it's working now. So yeah, it's a pretty neat design, and I enjoy it. Well, now what you can do if you want, obviously this gun can't do it because it didn't come with it initially, but if you want to, you could just plug in the gun like here, so it gives her like a armored gun design in vehicle mode. So overall, I think it looks pretty cool. I'll be back to explain my final thoughts. Now, Chromia definitely gets overshadowed by RC by a lot, since RC is definitely the more the much better figure, and an overall just kind of a better impression left on the figure itself. For Chromia being pretty much just a retool of Prime RC, there isn't a whole lot you're going to different in a sense that you'll be getting off the figure in terms of function, but the design is cool enough in order to pick up, and it is the design used in the IDW comics. So I can see that Chromia is definitely still worth it, especially since we finally get more female bots along with Wingblade, which is still quite annoying figure to transform, but I still think all the 3 fembots are pretty cool what we got so far, and it'll be nice to see a lot more in the future. Anyways, this figure, obviously, I got along with RC at BBTS, since I can find neither of them in my stores in the local area, so I just decided to go to BBTS just so I can make sure I can guarantee getting the figures. But overall, I still think Chromia is definitely worth it to pick up, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Anyways, please comment and subscribe, check out Hirotaku, also check out Rajio, Nihon, and the associated podcasters, WRW, Hero Talk, and Hero News, and please comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on YouTube. Bye.